It is Fed Day, which means we are forced to talk about this topic, which we've been talking about endlessly since the last Fed Day. My name is Michael Camo, and I'm here with National Treasure JR Romero from the Momentum Express VTF. Yes, he is a national treasure on the level of Nicolas Cage, and he's here to let us know what is going on with the Fed. So, JR, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Captain?
I'm I'm terrible. I'm just kind of like I feel like I've been talking about the Fed for so long. I'm kind of sick of it. I just want to get it over with at this point. So let's just get this over with. So JR, um, CME's Fedwatch Tool is saying 65% chance of 50 basis point cut, 35% chance of a 25 or a quarter point cut rather. What do you think our friends are going to do today?
I think they're going to take the cautious approach and go with 25. That's just my thought. But honestly, I just want them to rip the Band-Aid already.
And
what do you mean by tired?
What do you mean by rip the Band-Aid?
I just want them to go through with the announcement. I want to see what the summary of economic projections has to say and just move on with my life, man. It's
okay.
Too much.
What makes
it, let's go.
What makes it too much?
I think the market's just focusing on the wrong thing. There's still this whole inflation narrative going on, and yes, inflation, but we have sticky inflation. But I think the market is overestimating the. We'll see what the dot plot says, but 125 basis points worth of cuts is seems wildly unrealistic. I saw Jeffrey Gundlach come out yesterday with that projection. I don't see how they're going to pull it off by the end of the year. And also, what I think the market is missing is that every time we have had the Fed funds pointing that way, we've been on the brink of a major recession. And I think that's really the real concern for the market. So I think whether we do 55 or 20 or 25 or 50 today, I think the iceberg no one's talking about is the fact that I think the market is starting to sniff a recession coming.
Okay, what do you see in the market that says recession?
Well, have you seen gold, bonds, and consumer defensive stocks lately?
I'm a moron. I see none of these things. No, we talk we talk we talk about gold on just about every live stream because gold has done so well this year. And actually, Sammy and I have talked about these a lot because he's been big into like a lot of these value stocks like AT&T and 3M, and those are ripping. So okay, do you think?
The market's body language to me says trouble ahead in terms of how the sectors are moving, in terms of historical data. When you have Fed futures pointing to 100 basis points of higher, you typically have a serious recession ahead. Not to mention the fact that we just uninverted on the 2 and the 10. So
okay, so then why do you think, like, because the S&P just made an all-time high? Why do you think? I mean, if the market is, I'll say it this way: how can these two things be true at once? The market is sniffing out a recession, and the market is at all-time highs.
So, are you saying the market has never been unhinged from reality? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
I think at all times it's unhinged from reality. I'm just asking you to clarify it for our wonderful audience here, Mr. Wise Guy.
I'm not sure why we're making all-time highs. I do think that we're in the process of putting in a top that's going to take us and retest the August lows, and then we're probably going to recover into year end.
Okay, but
that's what's happening.
Okay, but do you see a recession on the horizon?
Yes.
Do you see hard landing, soft landing, or does it not even matter right now?
To me, as a trader, it doesn't matter. I don't think we're going to have a soft landing. They're very hard to pull off. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know. have we ever had a soft landing? I mean, because it seems like things go up, things fall apart, and the Fed swoops in to cut rates, sometimes too late, sometimes too early. I mean, that just seems like the natural circle of life. So, are you doing, in terms of how you're positioning with your holdings, are you doing anything different right now?
I took a large position in the TLT for my long term account.
Mhm. Okay.
Long term, this. I've been buying gold for the past year, and other than that, the luxury of being a day trader is I really don't have to worry too much about managing a large number of multi-week or multi-month positions. We're in a lot of positions that are doing well. We've been in eBay for a couple of months. That's also a recessionary play, by the way, as you know, right? eBay has done phenomenally well for us for the past couple of months. That's been great. We have a 65.80 final target there. But yeah, overall, I'm not particularly keen to take a lot of risk, especially in the Max Sevens, as far as holding a lot of swings. It's very, very crowded trade right now.
Okay. All right. Funnily enough, Sammy's also been in eBay, so it seems like you guys are doing a lot of parallel thinking, and we are going to do a group get together in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned. I'm sure.
Yeah, Sammy and I have a very similar style when it comes to looking at charts, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So let's flip around a little bit to the other side, because, like you said, safety's been doing well. Now, on the other end, we have the AI place. Now, to me, the most interesting piece of news over the last few weeks, and this wasn't really covered that much, but Larry Ellison said that he and Elon Musk went to dinner with Jensen Huang and begged for more GPUs.
Yeah.
So it's like interesting. At the same time, it's like there's a lot of people saying that generative AI is definitely in bubble territory. I would agree to a certain degree in the short term, because there's so many of these piece of crap AI, quote unquote AI apps that do absolutely nothing. They're horrible. So like, do you think the AI cycle can withstand a recession?
Yeah, I do. I think not only can it withstand a recession, I think it's one of the more recession-proof plays, right? Especially as we go from the early adoption phase to the real markup phase in that particular sector. I think we're still very much in the early adoption phase.
Okay, do you think that's the case even in a hard landing scenario?
Yeah, I don't. I work. I've been working as a consultant in the data center world for over 20 years. And they can't build these things fast enough. The demand for CPU power, for GPU power, for cooling, for electrical is only going to increase. And I honestly wonder if a lot of these utilities, another really bullish sector into a recession, are also going up with the strength and participation that they are, because of all the extra juice we're going to require to start, doubling, tripling, or quadrupling our data center capacity. I don't know how much you know about data centers, but they are major, major juice hogs as far as electrical power is concerned.
Yeah, it's like those servers take. I would assume that like the average AI request uses way more power than, say, a Google search or something. I mean, I think for everybody out there, it's not just like the data being pushed through these servers. It's also just the air conditioning to stop
Yeah.
these places from melting down is unreal. So interesting. So related, do you have any interest in nuclear power, like specific? Because uranium, I'll just say this: I'm sort of a I'm in the uranium cult myself to some
It's a
extent.
uranium is hard to trade. It's a very fickle instrument.
I trust me, I know all about it. It's been I've had a lot of ups and downs over the last few years. I'll just say, but I mean, do you have any interest in in nuclear power?
Uh, sure, I think it's a highly viable alternative. The problem with nuclear power in this country has been regulatory and time to market. It takes us too long and costs us too much money to build these nuclear power plants fast enough, and that's a political issue.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Democrats have become a lot more nuclear power friendly in the last couple of years. So maybe there will be some, but I'm sure the regulatory obstacles, the permit process, all those things, I'm sure that will not get easier because it's money for lawyers the more complicated it is.
Yeah, our time to market on nuclear is just way too slow, and that's been a major hindrance in the energy sector. Also, the lobbying wall on nuclear is horrendous
Yeah.
due to the coal lobby.
Okay. All right. So back to today. What are you telling your traders in the room today? Are you saying let's just wait and see what happens at 2 o'clock, or are you positioning into anything ahead of it aside from the TLTs you talked about before?
So the problem with this market, first of all, there's a couple of problems. I think people are way too bullish going into, fear versus greed. I think is too skewed to the upside. Technically, this market is at key resistance levels. Okay, and for us to have that kind of gamma flip where the market goes really bullish, we need to have a very high volume, committed move through very important resistance levels, and I'm not sure we're really going to get there. And the risk reward, in my opinion, is heavily skewed to the downside.
Okay, so it's definitely. So I mean, would you go short into this?
So, yeah, I'm positioned short to a certain extent. I was really heavy on my short coming into today, and I trimmed it down. In terms of day trading today, I think we're going to have a lot of volatility. Well, since we're probably going to have an impulse move higher, and then we'll see if we can sustain a bid in the S&Ps. But if the SPOOs get back to 5605, 5600, and we can't hold that level, you're going to have a very violent game of musical chairs where everybody's selling at once. So that's my concern.
Okay, so we have another interesting to talk about. So originally, today was going to be an in-depth conversation about Nicolas Cage's late '90s run. So JR, to you, what is the ultimate Nicolas Cage movie? What's your favorite?
Oh God. Well, I have to say Con Air just because of the hair.
Oh man, I can't believe you said that.
I mean, Nicolas Cage in a mullet with Johnny Cusack, John Malkovich, and Steve Buscemi.
And the accent.
And the accent, and Danny Trejo. I've seen that movie 150 times. I watch it with my kids at least once a month. It's just too good. It's too good.
And Nicolas Cage was like absolutely jacked in that movie too.
Oh, he was on so much gear. Mexican pharmacies ran out. I mean, that's how much gear he was on.
You have to admire the dedication for a role like that, though. And put the bunny
method
back
acting
in the box.
plus steroids. I mean, you can't go wrong.
He's the best. It's interesting. He's had such a great resurgence after in the last few years. Have you seen the movie Pig?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. It came out in 2021. It's about so Nicolas Cage plays this like reclusive guy who lives out in the woods with his pig, and his pig like finds truffles that he sells to like fancy restaurants, and the pig gets kidnapped, and he has to like go on the warpath to rescue his pig. I guess there's some parallels with John Wick, but it is a great movie.
When a character becomes such a caricature of themselves, it's like you can't stop watching. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's his catalog of work is amazing. He's done a hell of a lot of movies. I think it's because he had to pay for his dinosaur skulls and his castles and his snakes and all the other stuff. But he has a million great movies. I'll throw a recommendation out for everybody. If you haven't seen Matchstick Men from 2003, it's an amazing movie. Jeff is asking about Pig looks really slow. It starts slow, but it gets super, super intense. And it's super dark. It's super dark. It is super violent.
Okay.
But I highly recommend it.
That sounds fun.
All right. Okay, guys, that is going to wrap us up for today. So JR is telling us it's safety first. Don't go crazy out there.
Buckle up.
He likes GLD, TLT, eBay.
Mm-hmm. I like eBay. Yes. I think we get a downside surprise today. That's my opinion. We'll see what happens. Whichever way it goes, we're going to be trading it. We're going to be calling out the levels, and I'm sure having a great day.
Okay. All right, guys, if you want to guarantee to put a smile on your face today, go to t3live.com/JRLive to get JR's ebook. You'll learn about his whole story of how he went around the world and became a successful trader. And he's running one of our biggest rooms here at T3 Live. Click the link down in the description, down in the tweet. JR, it's been a pleasure. And again, you are a national treasure. I value you more than the president or the Declaration of Independence. You are that important to me.
You're a gentleman in this color, Michael. Thank you.
I am neither. Everybody have a wonderful day. Good luck out there.
Take care.